Hi everyone. In today's micro lecture, we're going to talk about oxygen administration and the different types of masks that you have available to you. Now, as a paramedic, one of the things that you'll be doing quite often is assessing a patient's primary survey, in particular, looking to see how oxygenated they are. Now, when you place an oxygen mask on someone's face, you are oxygenating them. You are enriching their atmospheric air with oxygen. This must not be mistaken with ventilation. So the process of ventilation involves taking the air in, using the lungs ripping upwards and outwards, movement is upwards and outwards, the air goes in, then the body uses the oxygen and excretes CO2. That's ventilation. So let's not mix the two. Now, when you need to give a patient oxygen, you really are using one of two methods. You're either looking to see if they are showing signs of hypoxia, such as blue lips, pale skin, sweaty, clammy skin, other signs of hypoxia and compensation, then they're indicated for oxygen. The other method is to use oxygen saturations. So place the oxygen, the SpO2 meter on their fingers, and if it's below 92%, then they are indicated for oxygen. Then you need to choose which mask to use. Now, this mask here is the high flow mask or the Hudson trauma mask. Basically, this mask in a conscious, well-ventilating patient is the mask to use if the patient is looking really unwell, if they have really low saturations. I'm not going to give you a number because that's a clinical choice. But basically here you have a reservoir bag, you have the mask itself, and you have oxygen tubing that leads directly to the oxygen, the oxygen canister. Then of course you have the elastic that keeps it on the patient's face. So when you have a situation where the patient looks really acutely unwell and you're wanting to give the most amount of oxygen that you possibly can as a paramedic, with the exception of ventilating and doing it for the patient, this is the mask to use. The next one down from this is the medium concentration Hudson mask. And you can use 5 to 6 liters, 6 to 7 or 7 to 8 liters, and that will give you 40, 50 and 60% oxygen. Whereas with the trauma mask here, you really do need to put this onto 15 liters of oxygen right away. So again, if your patient has got, in my clinical experience, if my patient's got oxygen saturations around about 90%, I might put them on this one. I could even put them on a nasal cannula because I'm only trying to raise the oxygenation up by 2%. So the nasal cannula goes round, these two prongs here go into the nose, the cannula goes around the ears, and you can bring it back forward and tie it here, or it can go around the back of the patient's head. So let's take a very quick look at the flow rates. As you can see here, the nasal cannula, you're using between 1 and 6 liters per minute. So that's what you're turning the oxygen canister to at the top. So you're turning it between 1 and 6, and you're able to give between 24 and 44% oxygen. So again, if the patients only need a couple of percent of oxygen, then you can use that. The simple mask, or the medium concentration Hudson mask, 6 to 10 liters per minute, and you're giving 35 to 55%. Non-rebreathe mask is between 50 and 90%. Now, I tend to only ever use 15 liters per minute because you need that reservoir bag filling up. And you notice how you're never ever giving 100% oxygen with any of these masks, because you'll find that with these masks, you've got these CO2 ports here, and the CO2 just leaks out of the side, and it also leaks out of here as well. Then, of course, you've got this thing called a Venturi mask, which is something we haven't talked about here today. Venturi mask is used for patients with COPD, hence the low numbers here. Okay, guys, that's the summary of oxygen masks. You will get a chance to play around with these in the workshops. I hope you've enjoyed my session. My name's Sam Willis, and I look forward to speaking to you again shortly. Take care.